Good motherfucking morning, motherfucking days. Good motherfucking morning, ladies. How are you all doing today? This most beautiful of Sunday mornings, when Monday mornings, Monday. We're good, chilling. Gucci time, Gucci. We're chilling. I'm getting addicted. I'm not addicted. I'm rage queuing. We are not the same. We are not the same. But we are back in black for another episode of the God Gamer Show. We got some Sabronis and Linkos. But it's fine, Monday morning. Gina Crime, thank you very much. Thank Juicy with the 4 years. Thank you, Sean. Here's your interest. Join the badge. He says, fisting costs how much again? Also found the gay badge. Kevin Pride. Forsen Fist. 4 years with the God Gamer. Emphasis on gay. Says the dank juicer. Thank you very much. Fizzy Force with the pie gift. Thank you very much, man. And join the badge. Congratulations. You lucky cunts. Cancer patient got to play GTA 6 early at Rockstar Vancouver. Did he get to finish the game? Eleanor, Cobrat, we got Wells, Good Exo, Similar Geek, thank you boys. Commentars and Beer the Person, Official Haters, and Shambles, Bad Doggy, welcome back. He lied about the cancer. Well, a lot of people would lie about the cancer just to play a fucking GTA 6 limited demo. I am not one of them, however. Anything cool, fresh, new, exciting happening in the world today? High-speed train derailed on journey to Madrid and hit another train, killing 39, injuring hundreds. Damn, it's like the plot for Unbreakable. Did you get any stream snipers during offline gaming? 90% of the games offline, stream snipers. 90%.
Wow, I hitting love! League of Legends, I can't wait for more grinding today, Mr. Force!
How does that work? They queue up when I'm done with my game. It's that easy. They soft many different ways actually. Soft int on my team, not to get banned. Sometimes hard int, follow me in the fucking jungle. Sometimes it's Smurfs queuing up with enemy jungler accounts, bot accounts, so they can't get in my team, and then they just feed on my fucking laners. But more often than not, it's just soft inting. That's a bit loud. my headset loud? Alright. Right, that's better. New operating with 300 bits. Alright, anything else cool, fresh, new, exciting? No. The mic is quiet compared to music and don't know. Okay. How's that? Better? Stronger? Faster? Better? Okay. Alright. Alright. Today I learned that an esports team continued to let a bad player stay on the team because his girlfriend was banging the whole team and they didn't want to let her go. I don't get it. Is that a joke at me or is that an actual thing that happened? I can't tell. React to Rockstar headquarter fire. Wait, what? What happened? They light their office on fire just to have an excuse to delay it further. Rockstar North boiler room explosion. Rockstar North. What was the difference again between North, Rockstar North? Did they do I forget. North is opposite of South. That is true. Rockstar North is the Scottish one where the big things happen. What, like GTA 6 or what? What is the small things? I forget. North Korea GTA. Okay. EU market's down 2% due to Trump's tariffs. NA market opening tomorrow. Didn't we already go over this thing? Nothing ever happens. Hey, Shaolin Monk with 420 bits. I got you baited. Me too, man. Me too. Me too. Alright, we got some Linkos, chat. We got Linkos.
But what about rock bottom with a pattern such as narcissism? Could there actually be such a thing as a rock bottom? What would it mean? What would it look like? There are more than a few people out there who liken narcissism to addiction. So that they would say that the narcissistic person is blindly driven and craves outside admiration, and validation becomes their addiction. If they can't have it, they crave it. They will go to great lengths to get it. They'll become irritable, depressed, and angry if they can't have it. They are constantly in denial. They will rationalize their behavior. There is absolutely a lot of impulsivity. There's egocentricity. Those patterns right there, those are shared between narcissism and addiction, right? We see them in both patterns. I would argue that there are many.
I don't know if you're a
many similar
narcissist,
top
but I
notes
mean, you
to
definitely need
narcissism
help. Not gonna
and
lie.
addiction. But in the absence of, we're still waiting, I guess, but in the absence of neuroscience hammering down the pathways of addiction as being the same in narcissism and addiction. And so far in the science, there isn't much to suggest that this is the case. There's some intriguing studies, but we're not quite there. It may fall into the premise that narcissism, compulsive substance use, and any compulsive behavior may have some common foundations and may all reflect regulatory deficits that come out in these dysregulated ways. But all of that said, it keeps coming back. I want to bring it back to that question. Is there such a thing as a rock bottom for a narcissist? And I would argue possibly yes. Let's start with something that many of us know, but I actually do not think I talk about enough. I have not really talked about it much on this channel. People who are narcissistic are not necessarily having a good time. In fact, I would argue that they are much, much more miserable than the rest of us. To be narcissistic is a very anxious way to live. They are afraid of criticism, of abandonment, of being publicly found out, of publicly called out, of losing their stuff, of losing their power, of losing their status, of getting old, of getting sick. I would argue that this is something called narcissistic anxiety, a topic we'll actually tackle in another video. Narcissistic anxiety is sort of
Isn't that
much
just
more around
100%
things
of
that
people
are more related to the
worried about
narcissistic
getting
personality,
fucking
different
sick,
than the sort of
worried
general
about
neurotic
getting
anxiety
fucking
the rest of us might experience.
like it's
when
probably not
when you
me.
account for all
I'm
of
probably
the
the
anxiety in
least
the narcissistic
worried about
person,
getting old.
which they fight back on with their really unpleasant defense.
My god, these fucking quote unquote psychiatrists slash doctors just pulling the fucking
Gentlemen, congratulations. The two of you have cemented yourselves a spot in the final round of our competition. Now, we are sending you back to your home forges to build an iconic weapon from history. And that weapon is...
Oh, sweet.
the Polish Warhammer.
Hello, Mr. Force. I noticed that your title says games and shit. Never mind, I actually have a question. What do you think about sitcoms? They are hilarious, and here's a fucking sitcom link.
It was an effective lethal weapon used on horseback and in hand-to-hand combat. The Polish Warhammer was a pivotal weapon during the Battle of Vienna, which began the decline of the Ottoman Empire.
You guys have 4 days. Good luck. We'll see you then.
Sweet.
I'm Mike Baldino. I'm 30 years old. I'm a high school technology teacher. I'm a part-time bladesmith. The thing I love about bladesmithing is that you're always pushing yourself. You're always trying to learn something new. I'm super excited to be here. It's been a dream of mine for a long time. So now I'm working on the hammerhead billet. Everything else is
high
solid.
school
Now I'm
technology
taking these two bolts
teacher?
down to the grinder,
What the
and
fuck is
I'm gonna just roll them
technology?
out and lose some weight. I just
Here's
have to
another
harden
fucking
and
sitcom
heat
link.
treat the handle
This
of the
shit
hammer
is fucking
before I put the
hilarious.
head
I
to
love
it.
this fucking
It's so
shit
long and
chat
skinny,
and
I'm
Force.
worried about
This
it
is
bending
minus
during the
360
fight.
for me for the
If it
month
twists
so
or
far.
warps or bends,
You're
there's not
just
much
mad
field to
I
take
got
away and straighten
motion
it back
and
out
you don't.
afterward. All right, I'm gonna go for it.
sitcom link. Can't wait.
Oh, straight as could be. Quench went smoothly. Yeah, this came out so sweet. I'm just gonna oil it up and then give it a good test. I think we're good to go. But I figure we might as well test it out on a door. It goes straight through. The head is still firmly attached. There was no damage to the weapon at all.
My name's Josh Fisher. I'm 26 years old. I've been a full-time bladesmith for over a year now. At my forge, I work with the Wounded Warrior Project, teaching veterans how to make knives or other blacksmithing projects.
The biggest concern for today is getting the eye of the hammer punched. If the eye ends up being crooked or doesn't punch cleanly, then I'll never get a good handle fit. It might come loose. There we go. So getting the eye punched went pretty good. I'm really happy with it. And it's ready for the quench. This is really critical for the strength of this. And repeat that for the spike. See that skating on the head? Skating on that spike? Just what I want. We've got the hammer almost completely done. Before I do all the final cleaning and polishing on it, I figured I'd do a couple tests with it. It'll kill. It feels great to have made it this far. It was a really tight competition up to this point, and I'd really like to see it stay that way.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. To find out what kind of damage your weapon will do, I will deliver some lethal blows on this ballistics dummy. Now I am looking to see how your weapons will crush and pierce the armor that our ballistics dummy is wearing. Josh, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yep.
All right, Josh, first up, the handle construction. Your leather wrapping that you have here does give me a very good grip, and I'll need it because for a one-handed weapon, it's a very heavy weapon. That spike penetrates deep into the chainmail. Your hammer face crushes the helmet, and it went deep into this ballistics dummy. Overall, sir, your weapon, it will kill. Mike, your turn.
It will kill. That guy loves his job.
I can't believe I've never played Black. I have many great gaming shames, and this is one of them for sure. As someone who enjoys first-person shooters but isn't too steeped in the history and significance of some of the games, I have had a lot of people ask me to go back and play Black. It came out on the PS2 and Xbox in 2006 from Criterion Games, who you might know from the Burnout games. And they set out to do to the shooter genre what they did to the racing genre, which is tear it apart. So I thought, what better way to experience it than to just experience it? Lots of people say it's great, and I guess now's my chance to see if they're right. So without further ado, my name is Drew, and let's Decidue.
Subscribe to Drew Decidue, or else I'll replace all of your toilet paper with single-ply hopes and dreams.
I'm assuming this is going to be like the Modern Warfare before Modern Warfare, like the 6 generations. My only real experience with Black was back in the old like PlayStation Magazine days. They'd send you those demo discs. I did get one that had Black on it. I think I had this sort of like inherent horror towards like games with the name Black in it because of Twisted Metal Black. I just assumed this game would be too mature, too scary. But I think it's more just badass than anything else. I was just a dumb kid. But already, I like the style of the cutscenes.
Keller J, Sergeant First Class, serial number 717-8412. Iran, Guatemala, Colombia, Croatia. Very impressive.
I know what you're trying to do, sir. It ain't gonna work.
No, Sergeant Keller, you don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm here to clean up this mess. If you cooperate. If I walk out that door, everything you did will be declassified. You will be convicted, you will be discharged, you will spend the rest of your life in prison.
What do you want me to do?
There's something about like the mid-2000s stylized live-action cutscenes that just get me, man. I love it. It's a little cheesy maybe, but I like it.
Tell me everything you know about Seventh Wave.
I love fucking kids. Weapons dealers. Heavy hitters dealing mostly in high-spec, former Eastern Bloc hardware. Clients began to include terrorist cells. Seventh Wave was escalated to priority status after they took out 9 agency spooks. Coordinated executions. Division wanted Seventh Wave taken out with extreme prejudice. Intel zeroed in on 3 possible targets. Valencia was the boss. Reuven and Yevtushenko were the muscle. 3 teams were tasked with Overwatch until it was time to take them out. I had one of those teams. Intel suspected the Brits, Chinese, and Israelis had teams in the area. Everyone was after these guys.
Who was the 4th man?
Gun for hire. Didn't think much of him at the time.
What went wrong?
Everything.
We got made.
How do you go from earning tens of thousands of dollars each month, building an online brand and entertaining millions of people, to incapable of breaking 2,000 views per video and being lucky to make $100 a month from it? What does the most toxic player in the most toxic online game look like? Well, meet Shacklone.
I hope you drop dead, you disgusting subhuman. Why are you alive? Why is the Zoe alive, dude? Can you not find the rope? Why are you alive?
League of Legends, a game that has a reputation for being one of the most toxic, rage-inducing experiences you can imagine.
This guy doesn't want to play with me just so he can play me like an actual no-life piece of king poop garbage. His dog shit on the floor.
Sick of this company. The trash! Fix the game! It sucks playing the shit!
Take 5 human players and pit them against 5 other humans. Add in a scoreboard, a competitive ranked ladder, meaning losses have real-time consequences to your progression, and the biases of a human believing they are much better at a task than they actually are. This is a progression from the 1v1 era of competitive games like StarCraft, where failure resulted in you only being able to blame yourself, or the video game, or your opponent's strategy that you just couldn't overcome. Now that you have teammates, it's much easier to engage with. You have 4 others who are clearly worse than you, less intelligent, less attractive, and obviously at fault when you don't win. With this, you have the recipe for incredibly unpleasant interactions. Shacklone not only embodies this experience like none other you'll find on the internet, but also the experience of how a once bright career as a content creator earning potentially millions of dollars can turn into a bitter existence just full of hatred. From grinding out videos on YouTube with massive initial success, refining that formula over the course of years, to being banned by a game developer on over 40 accounts, but still continuing every single day and hating every single moment of it.
The fucking gameplay itself, the state of this fucking disgusting fucking game. I your fucking fat ugly mom, Riot. You ruined this game.
Shacklone, as the name would suggest, is a play on the League of Legends character Shaco, the demon jester, whose ultimate ability creates a clone of Shaco, which of course is where the name comes from, a reference as a one-trick pony, a player who exclusively uses a single character out of the roster of hundreds available. Shacklone was a high-ranked player during the early adoption and growth phase of League of Legends, rising through the ranks to the upper echelon of Challenger in one of the most popular and competitive regions, Europe West. This put him in the top 200, something only a fraction of the population will ever achieve. He was undoubtedly good at the game, perhaps even one of the better Shaco players on the planet, due to the sheer breadth of experience across thousands of games spanning tens of thousands of hours. For this reason, his clips of mastery involving the hero went somewhat viral for the time. During the period of 2013 to 2014, the barrier for entry to get a vast sum of eyeballs on League of Legends YouTube or Twitch content was considerably lower than it is today. Shacklone, with the early adopters advantage, had the building blocks of everything he would have needed to become super popular. Great gameplay, a highly impressive mechanical grasp of the character, high ranked meaning he had experience and knowledge to impart on his audience, as well as the benefit of featuring in games with the current most popular professional players and the big streamers of the game. All he needed was a personality that was inoffensive, or at least, if offensive, entertaining at the same time. He could then ride this all the way to an extremely lucrative career.
Whatever, I don't give a shit about dickheads like that. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Ban me, I don't care. Having brain dead fucking like that. This guy is asking for my address. He's actually asking for my address, son of a bitch.
Give me an address. Meet me somewhere. Okay.
This video is sponsored by Bellesa Boutique. Stay tuned for a spicy giveaway.
Since time immemorial, man has created art In its purest form, the Wojak stands as the culmination of mankind's greatest achievements and most shameful failures, ultimately shaping the future of online discourse. Join us as we embark on a journey to find history's most ancient gems.
Ah, Eric, Electric Samuel. We were colleagues once, you know. Well, that was before I decided to clean up my act, but good times, good times.
Can you just like back up a little bit, 6 feet, please?
Bitch.
Okay. Well, my name's Eric. I'm a professional Smash Brothers player, and also I'm vegan. People have tried to tie a negative connotation to soy. Personally, I find a lot of pride in that. Is the joke that plants provide so much protein that I don't need to murder an animal to get my daily intake? Is that the joke? Because if that's the joke, I don't get it. Masking is not a joke. People are dying.
Also, for reference, I'm not going to Genesis because 1, money, 2, Valentine's Day, and 3, everything's been getting worse in terms of diseases, and I don't want to get sick again.
So, how did you come up with the famous soy jack?
How did I come up with the famous soy jack? How did Leonardo paint the Mona Lisa? ESAM was my muse, and Microsoft Paint my canvas. Just look at him, that chin-strap beard, those goofy glasses, and that beautiful bald dome. The possibilities were truly endless. But only one could serve as my magnum opus, my masterpiece, my piece de résistance, chef d'oeuvre, a crowning achievement to let the entire world know that it does get worse.
I wake up in the morning just like anyone else. I change my sleeping mask out for my morning mask, and then I drink a Soylent. I go and I brush my teeth, I drink a Soylent, and that's right before I put on my face shield.
Don't know if you said
I
no
drink a
more
Soylent.
links, but
Being
here's
vegan
a
is
cute
kind of
link
hard to find
request
that
by
extra
Dr.
protein
Les
you need in your
Carter.
day-to-day, so I've kind
No
of
further
become
links.
an addict, you could say. Pikachu busted.
How does someone consume so much Soylent? I mean, he's not even taking his mask off. It must be like some sort of osmosis. Fascinating. Wait, what the how did he...
Eric! Eric!
I'd definitely say it's become somewhat of a problem, and I am getting therapy, but it's hard. It can be hard to quit.
Eric! Eric, where you at? We have to go to a tournament.
No. Eric, not again.
Why are we... we talked about this.
Alright, extra, thank you man for Wookie _U, Enio Doris, Adnan UG, welcome back, and Ask AA, Hobot69, Energetic Mass. Thank you boys, welcome back.
It's supposed to be quiet.
Recalculating route.
Oh shit.
Bro, I know. Shoot. Recalculating route.
That's just fun. It's just fun. All the time. They're hilarious.
That's awesome. I love getting to meet people who have like seen the videos.
Oh my
and-
god, you're hilarious. The tunnel video is what we just saw. And we like walked past, he's like, oh my god, that's him.
No way.
Barking spiders? What does that even mean? Barking spiders. Oops, same one. Same one.
Without wasting any time, let's quickly recap what the maxilla is. The upper maxilla is essentially the left fort 2 area minus the left fort 1 area. The upper maxilla includes the inner infraorbital rims, the nasal bridge, the canine fossa area, and most importantly, the nasal aperture. So what does the upper maxilla projection look like? Upper maxillary projection is characterized by the area from the front of the cheekbones to the back of the nose being a smooth transition when viewed from the side, as seen here on screen. The man in this example has a seamless blend between the zygoma and the back of the nose. Contrast that with this other man who has clearly a defined border in the same spot. The difference is due to the slope of the bone around the nasal aperture, with a forward upper maxilla. The bone on the left and the right taper forward and inward toward the nose, with a flat upper maxilla. The bones on both sides of the upper maxilla are parallel, projected upper maxillas as typically seen in Caucasoids, whereas a flat upper maxilla is a Mongoloid trait. Another way to look at this is in terms of the position of the nasal aperture. The hole in the scolio breathe through. An aesthetic upper maxilla is for the most part a projected nasal aperture. Here's an East Asian woman who got a nose job as well as some procedures that moved her nasal aperture forward and made the surrounding tissue more slanted forward toward the center. As you can see, she used to have a clearly defined border between the front of her zygos and the back of her nose, and after surgery it turned into a smooth blended transition, which is ideal. We will quickly go over the differences between a projected upper maxilla and a projected nose. This is a guy with a recessed maxilla. Giving him a forward protruding Caucasoid nose doesn't result in a good look. His nasal aperture and the nose around it needs to get pulled forward, like this, which gives better results. So let's talk about facial depth for a bit. Facial depth is basically a refined version of forward growth theory. While some people might say water is wet, this updated theory explains why many mid-face implants designs look fake and stuck on, and why modified Lefort 3, often abbreviated as LMF3, has almost no chance of creating an extremely aesthetic face. Here we can see an example of separate and categorized facial depths. Certain landmarks are constant and cannot be changed, like the external auditory meatus, tragus, anterior-posterior positioning of the eyes, neck, and to some extent the hyoid bone. These are the constant reference marks. Everything else can be moved forward with the properly modified surgeries. The most overlooked subcategory of facial depth is anterior facial depth, which is a projection or retrusion in the LeFort-2 region. It's probably the area which sets apart average people from beautiful people the most. For the anterior facial depth, the projection of the central midface of the posterior midface and is enhanced through LeFort-2 osteotomy. Posterior facial depth, the projection of the entire face as a unit from the rest of the skull and corrected by LeFort-3 advancements or implants informed by the LeFort-3 concept. When all of the subcategories of facial depth are sufficiently projected, the face fits into a square shape. Adding facial depth to the true LeFort-2 or LeFort-3 that goes up and over the nose can give a very powerful yet natural looking results, so-called modified LeFort-3 and LeFort-2 osteotomies, which leaves out the nose, and Nasions can't do this any better than custom implants can.
Okay.
Well, you know, she's being crazy too.
She's pregnant. She gets to be crazy. You have to be the same one.
So what, I don't get to be crazy again until the baby comes?
No, then it's baby's turn to be crazy.
When do I get to be crazy again?
Never.
Because drugs are bad. Right, Monty? Well, sure. Man-made chemical stuff. But things that grow in nature, they're kind of try like once or twice. Not looking for gray areas here, Monty. I don't think it's right to lie to the kids, Moo. So, what are you saying? I've experimented with drugs.
Holly. Nice. Girls whose names end in L-Y are always dirty. Holly, Kelly, Carly, Lily.
Hey. Oh yeah, no, it's true.
This is my new fiancée. She's basically Stella, except she's French, and as you can see, she's got enormous cans.
Enchanté?
Enchanté.
That hasn't been struck since W.S. Gilbert hit it at the London premiere of The Mikado in 1885.
The wife's a 500-year-old relic that hasn't been struck since W.S. Gilbert hit it at the London premiere of The Mikado in 1885.
Evening, ladies. Oh, I like your...
Oh, it's a koala bear. I think they're adorable.
No way. My friend Randy here is the leading expert on koala bears in Australia.
That is so cool. What is your favorite thing about koala bears?
Their meat is delicious.
You yelled at me. You got very firm with me. Very confident. It was cool.
Thanks.
You're very sexy when you yell, Marshall. Veins, crazy muscles in your neck. You're like a Kentucky Derby winning steed.
You're ruining a nice moment.
At one point, I swear, I thought we were gonna kiss.
Ted, seriously. I'm married. I'm sorry, but neither of us are getting any action until I find those rings.
I hope this doesn't make me look desperate.
I'm never gonna be a guy who meets a girl and from the first time I see her, I'm just like, you are the love of my life. Everything I have and everything I am is yours forever.
Really?
No, I'm just making a point. Move it along.
Unleash this nutbag on them, or be a bigger person and help my friend. Barney's at Cafe L'Amour, 75th in Amsterdam. Awesome. No, wait. Okay, this isn't right. Let's pop that top button, show off the gals. Ooh, good luck. Go get them. Garvey has many attractive friends who will come to visit.
May I offer you some goat cheese puff pastries I made, mistress?
As long as you can do it quietly.
Wait, I'm confused. If it's not around my neck, then where's the shock collar? Oh, God.
Don't worry, Ted. She's cute.
Cute means fat.
She's not fat.
Not fat means ugly. Whoa!
Yep, here she is.
I take back everything I said. Oh, that girl's extremely attractive.
Hey, Pop.
Was that Katy Perry?
That's my water.
What?
My water. You're drinking it.
Dear Lord. Have you been drinking it?
Yes, it's my water.
Well, that's it then. I'm dead.
Here we go.
But I'm sorry. Do I really need to connect the dots for you? The backwashed into this glass is every pathogen that calls your mouth home sweet home. Not to mention the visitors who arrive on the dancing tongue of your subtropical girlfriend.
Hey, that's my sister and my country you're talking about.
Leonard may have defiled one, but I won't have you talking smack about the other.
You guys ready to order?
Yes, I'd like a 7-day course of penicillin, some syrup of ipecac to induce vomiting, and a mint.
I don't understand.
He drank from Leonard's glass.
He drank from Leonard's glass, words they'll be carving into my tombstone.
That's actually my napkin.
Oh, this is a nightmare! Where are you going? To the bar to sterilize my mouth with alcohol. Gangway, dead man walking! Finally. Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Wait, you can't leave here. You've been exposed.
No, I haven't. It's all good.
They would surely have a normal swing door to such a room. Biohazard room.
He takes the elf from off the shelf. Hellhounds. Hellhounds, who let the satanic dogs out? Who?
Colossal serpent.
I got a colossal serpent right here.
Must you?
Sorry, I'm just trying to cheer my buddy up. Rotting zombie. Sheldon's new Facebook photo.
Xandor, Wizard of the North. Ha! I win.
You skipped the part about being under a 2-week quarantine because you were exposed to a deadly disease. Absolutely. What you doing there? Working on a new plan to catch the Roadrunner?
The humorous implication being that I am Wile E. Coyote?
Yes.
And this is a schematic for a bird trapping device that will ultimately backfire and cause me physical injury?
Yes.
What I'm doing here is trying to determine when I'm going to die.
A lot of people are working on that research. So what is all this?
Bazinga.
My family history.
Hey, Cuba, thank you for 1 year. Polska Gurum, Blood Trail is this. Thank you, man. Jeff Cat with 100 months. 100 pack jump. 100 pack jump. Thank you very much. That's pretty ancient of you, sir. Welcome back.
Minnie is back, and so am I. There's no good without bad. And apropos good and bad, today we're going to discuss malignant covert narcissists. You've never heard this one before. But it stands to reason that if there is a malignant version of the overt, grandiose narcissist, there should be a malignant version of the covert, fragile, vulnerable, shy narcissist. And indeed, there is. My name is Sam Vaknin. I'm the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited, a former visiting professor of psychology and a not-so-shy member of the faculty of SIAPS.
Not even a Mensa member.
It is commonly accepted that there is a variant of overt, grandiose narcissism known as malignant narcissism. It's the unsavory combination of sadism, psychopathy, and narcissism. The perfect trifecta, your dream partner. Indeed, some scholars suggest that what we call overt, grandiose narcissism is actually a form of psychopathy, and that the only real narcissism is covert, compensatory. There's an innate bad object, an inferiority complex, feelings of inadequacy, of unworthiness, of being unlovable. And the compensation is to appear to be godlike, to insist on one's perfection and brilliance, omniscience and omnipotence. So this is where the field is heading. focusing on the compensatory aspects of narcissism. And apparently, covert narcissism is irreconcilable, cannot be put together with malignant narcissism. Because malignant narcissism is in your face, it's defiant, it's reckless, it's contumacious, authority rejecting. It's, in short, grandiose, it's aggressive, even violent, it's sadistic.
Okay, sir.
A few years ago, men were shocked to find out that Henry Cavill was beaten by Kim Nam-joon, aka RM, for the World's Most Handsome Man award. Now, as far as we can tell, this does appear to be a fake meme. TC Candler, who normally does this list, did not even have him in the top 10 that year, but the reaction of men was very interesting. It was like that they could not fathom that women could be attracted to this guy. The male commenters saw his feminine features, that is, his smooth, homogeneous skin, his full cheeks, his use of makeup, his arched brows, and so on, and they found it unbelievable that he could be considered hot at all, let alone hotter than Henry Cavill. But here's the reality. Millions of young women do find this man to be extremely attractive. A few of you will say, oh, that's because he's in a boy band, and while that's obviously a factor, as a causal explanation, it's actually very circular, as a huge part of the reason his boy band succeeded in the first place is that women respond to his facial aesthetics. We're not saying that he's better looking than Henry Cavill. However, what we are saying is that RM is attractive to many women, and many men watching will struggle to understand how because they think you need to look manly to look attractive. In the literature, this is called a failure of cross-sex mind reading, when a member of one gender lacks full insight into how the other gender thinks. If you're just one of those men who looks at Namjoon and just can't see it, well, this video is going to substantially upgrade your understanding of what some have called the female gaze. We're going to cover 5 aesthetic traits that will help you think through the differences between what men think is handsome and what women are actually attracted to. To begin, let's take a look at these two faces. Which of these two men looks more manly? Most of you will pick the one on the right. Now, which one looks more attractive? Obviously, the left one, right? It's easy to realize when you see a morph like this, but a lot of men, at some level, think that a bushy beard, cauliflower ear, and a cool scar is going to make women more interested in them. But step back and look at the men who women are most attracted to. They actually don't have any of these things. Think, who have been the biggest heartthrobs for women in the past years? Past few years, maybe Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, Bad Bunny. They're not super masculine. If anything, they're actually somewhat feminine. Sure, some male sex symbols in the 21st century have fit the hyper-masculine mold. Jason Momoa is a great example of this, but if you look at women's favorites broadly, is an exception, not the norm. This is part of why so many men fail to improve their physical appearance. We see so many guys needlessly reduce their appeal to women because they think looking manly and looking handsome is the same thing, when the truth is actually far more complex. From the average woman's perspective, some manly traits are attractive, and some are only good in moderation, and others are actually actively unattractive. In this video, we'll show you a research-backed example of each. First, let's talk about a masculine trait that women really respond to, so you don't misinterpret this as saying manly and attractive are opposites. If you look at the two photos, which looks more manly and which looks more attractive? Most of you, men and women, will say this man looks both more manly and more attractive, and yet the only thing we've changed on him is to give him darker, lower, thicker brows. While there are some men with more arched brows that suit their face, for the most part, men with thick, bold, low-set eyebrows are preferred by women. Here's the funny thing though. Ogliski and Welling's conjoint face ranking task measured 922 participants and their perception of facial attractiveness and found that surprisingly, women also look better with straight, bold eyebrows, and the effect is even larger on them than it is for men. In other words, while this is an example of a manly trait that women find attractive in men, it's also a manly trait that does appear to look good on women. Really, it's a trait that generally looks good on humans, that just so happens to be considered manly by society. Now, on the other side, let's point out a masculine trait that women generally dislike: baldness. Being bald is right up there with having a beard or large muscles as a fundamental signal that you are a male. What's more is that bald men are perceived as extremely manly. In research, people see them as more dominant, stronger, and more masculine. In fact, Albert E. Mann's second study on the topic digitally edited men to make them look bald, and people even guessed that they were taller. And yet, in study after study, for almost all men, hair looks better than no hair, and thick hair looks better than thinning hair. If you're going to take one thing from this video, let it be that manly and handsome are not necessarily synonyms. And baldness is an illustrative example of this. It's definitely more manly, and definitely less attractive. Of course, there are some men who look better bald. Jason Statham, for example, has a very smooth, homogeneous, proportionally sized, symmetrical head, and his roles and demeanor pair well with the tough guy, bald look, so it does suit him better than most. He also has very solid facial aesthetics, a robust brow ridge, low facial convexity, a strong jaw, high symmetry of positive canthal tilt, prominent cheekbones, and thick stubble. So of course, women are going to like him irregardless of hair or no hair. But even here we see evidence of men overestimating the appeal of manliness. A member of our staff, anthropologist Mackin Murphy, informally polled over 11,000 people and asked men and women whether they preferred Statham with or without hair. Unsurprisingly, most preferred him bald. It's what they're used to. The bald look does look nice on him, and frankly, we didn't give him the trendiest hairstyle. However, women were 23% more likely than men to prefer him with hair, and a chi-square test of independence showed that this difference was statistically significant. In other words, compared to women, men overrate how good a shaved head looks, even when it looks good. Now, let's talk about two more complicated cases.
I'm getting a 2 more from listening to this. Minute BNN, thank you for tier 3 90 months. Minus 90 Lily. Minus 90 indeed. Lord Shinta with the 13 months, thank you.
Really comes to a head with one thread simply titled "Masturbating Mog's Sex with Girls." I'd rather goon 24/7 than have to cope and jester on dating apps or cold approach a dumb girl. Conversing with low IQ primitive women is insanely difficult for me, an autist, and I can't fake the interaction for over 5 minutes. Pussy doesn't feel as good as my hand death gripping my cock on my triple monitor setup. Girls give you AIDS and take your money. Plus, when I jerk off, I can sit on my hand till it's numb and pretend a blonde Stacy is jerking me. How poetic.
God, I'm gooning.
It's probably worth noting here that taking steroids can also screw up your sex drive, with some drugs causing it to go through the roof, while others will cause it to plummet to the point where erections are basically impossible. By this point, it's clear that his looks maxing had very little to do with being successful with women, and instead, it had warped into some strange mixture of vanity and personal obsession, and his methods would once again become increasingly bizarre. He began taking an interest in plastic surgery. Some posts detail him dropping some money on small things like cyst removals, while others had him asking other forum users how he could perform surgery on himself. And depending on what you qualify as plastic surgery, he's actually done it on himself multiple times. While I can't show it on YouTube, there's multiple videos of him injecting himself with something called lemon bottle, which is a controversial substance that supposedly dissolves fat in your body. In time, this became a regular part of his regimen, along with another method, using PDO threads. From what I can tell, PDO threads are basically the temporary tattoo equivalent of facelifts. Small, dissolvable strings that go under your skin and stimulate collagen production while making your face look tighter. I can't speak as to how risky or effective they are, but I also don't think it's good to do it as much as Clav does.
We're probably gonna do 4 more to get maximum hunter eyes.
And these methods also don't just stop at improving his face card. He claims to have injected lemon bottle into the base of his shaft, as well as sticking PDO threads into it. I did 8 threads in total today. I only went about a 1/4 inch in to mog the BBCs on the forum. I don't think anyone has ever written something like that before in all of human history, so I guess I have to give him points for being original. Even other people on the site told him this was a horrible idea, as basically every reply is calling him stupid or mourning the loss of his penile function. Since we're on the topic, he also does dick ups, which are exactly what they sound like. You awaken the ancient one and you flex it up as hard as possible for 4 sets of 12. And to progress the exercise, you can add a hand towel on top of it. According to Clav, he was up to 4 hand towels and had gained 1/2 inch of girth. Of course, the looks maxing journey never ends, and even this stuff is really just the tip of the iceberg. Clav made several posts about wanting to get some more serious plastic surgeries. He explored getting an ollerplasty, which alters the appearance of your nostrils, a rhinoplasty, which changes the bridge of your nose, and of course, Botox insertions. As for Botox, he didn't want to get it done by a doctor. Instead, he was interested in doing it himself, asking members of the forum where he could get it online. But eventually, he went and had it done by a professional, which is why his face now has kind of a stiff, emotionless appearance. It's at this point that we begin to see the line being crossed, as Clav goes from exclusively affecting himself with his antics to potentially affecting other people in a variety of ways. One of his biggest threads from this era features him taking pride in banging a girl who is in a relationship. What's funnier, or more strange about it, depending on how you look at it, is that he recorded audio of her crying about it afterwards to own her. Besides this, he frequently expressed his pride about purposely tricking people on TikTok into doing fake looks maxing techniques. This would be taken to the next level when, after enrolling in college, Clav was outright planning to start doing Botox injections for other students to make a quick buck. Funnily enough, before he expressed his intention to do this, he was concerned about being kicked out if the college ever found his social media accounts, only to turn around and make plans to run a plastic surgery operation out of his dorm. He also made some other threat announcing that he won't be paying taxes. I guess that one is kind of based, I can't lie. Whether true or not, it seems like his concern about being kicked out of college is performative. If anything, it seemed he was looking forward to it, as it would give him an excuse to completely give up on trying to live a normal life so that he can go all in on being an online personality, as he was already trying to do at this point through his TikTok and YouTube. Clav found himself not being invited out by anyone, and even when he did get with a woman, he had to be on multiple drugs to be able to perform due to his severe erectile dysfunction, because of course he had ED. He was also posting TikToks during this time period.
Put on some more towels, man. IQ Logics, thank you, man. Jokan, Dude, Jersey, Diadude, and Shikor, I think it was. What are these links? I don't know, man. We'll get some fucking looks max or motherfucking cook. Ironic or unironic? Princess! That's racist. Alright, boys. No further links. No further links, Your Honor. We're good there. Alright. Not long until the next NLC match. It's time to step it up.